Prime Time Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Back for one more hour on Primetime Local News. So nice we decided to do it twice. Abby St. John, Josh Ryan here to bring you news, sports, weather, and more from Lloydminster and the surrounding region. Now we'll stop in with Eric Bay as well, who is going to give us a little bit of preview of Camp Day with Tim Hortons, which is exciting. And we'll also, again, check in with question of the day, which is, who would you be your ideal hype man if you had a hype man in the same way that Drake has been hyping up the Toronto Raptors, which Abby doesn't care about, and I've given up in my crusade to try to get her to care about it. Do you have a runner-up on that count?
I said in the last hour Will Smith, just because you see him as the hyping for his family, so I think that would be incredible.
Okay, so no runner-up. She's going straight Will Smith. Yeah. I'm not sure who Eric Bay will pick, but here's Eric Bay right now.
Thanks, guys. Well, today we are here at Tim Hortons, and the reason why we're here is we are talking about Camp Day. Now, that day is actually coming up here Wednesday, June 5th, but they do have some more events coming up here on the way. They are having a penny carnival down here at Tim Hortons as well. So we're going to be talking a little bit about how you can get involved either at the penny carnival or actually on Camp Day. They are accepting donations in a few different ways. So we're going to have all that and more coming up. But first, we'll go back into the studio where Abby has a look at your local news.
This weekend, 2 fires broke out at 2 different properties here in the border city, and our Jasmine King has more.
On Saturday, the first fire was at the Tesla Estates townhomes and the other at the Capri Estate apartments. All the residents made it out safely for both fires. The fire department was also able to remove a lot of the residents' personal belongings.
We responded to a report of a structure fire. Upon arrival, we did note there was a fully involved row housing on fire. It was a 6-unit row house. Fire crews did take a few hours to get it fully under control. There was a little bit of exposure damage to the next block of row housing, but the fire department was able to safely save that one. The second one we received that night was to an apartment block. We responded to multiple units on fire, and fire department was able to quickly get a control of the fire and knock it down with minimal impact.
The cause of both the fires are currently unknown at this time and are under investigation.
For the first one at the row housing, the investigation of that was turned over to the province's investigators just due to the high cost, the high dollar loss on that incident. The apartment block fire is still currently under investigation. It's not determined suspicious at this time.
Fire Chief Newton is reminding people to stay clear of the areas where fires are taking place as they need room to work.
There was some difficulties getting to the emergency scenes. We just like to remind everyone, while fires are captivating, it is dangerous to get close, especially when you do have moving emergency vehicles in there between police, fire, and EMS, and just keep out of the area.
Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
A meetup is currently taking place with the victims of the fire at the Holiday Inn. The meeting's being held to see if the victims need any help or supplies. And cadets from the 186 Lloydminster Squadron were honored this past Saturday as part of the annual ceremonial review. From the range team to the squadron band, and for one young cadet learning to fly, cadets present an opportunity for all to learn, and our Josh Park has the story.
Bagpipes and bass drums, symbolizing what was another successful year for the 186 Lloydminster Cadets. Friends and family flooded the airport hangar Saturday afternoon to honor the achievements and progress of over 70 cadets at the annual ceremonial review, something Captain M.T. Owens believes is a testament to the steps they take in just 1 year.
These kids can come in as civilians, and in 1 year they can be transformed into cadets, and the citizenship, the leadership, the physical fitness, the military aspect, and their ability to public speak, work as a team, seeing it all come together over the course of the year is fantastic.
There's many reasons that can draw a kid to joining cadets. For Kyle Zorgdrager, it's the dream of following his brother's footsteps and one day learning to fly.
That's my plan, to be a pilot in the Air Force.
Seeing your kid chase their passion while also being molded into a good citizen is what makes the cadet program appealing to a parent.
I think there's a bit of a misconception that it's a feeder into the military. Quite frankly, it's about creating good young Canadian citizens.
We want to build citizens that we're proud of and involve community members, and the cadet program is designed to do that.
Cadets, you learn leadership skills, citizenship skills, and it can have an interest in the armed forces like the Air Force.
At the ceremony, seeing his son in action along with the other cadets had Dad feeling proud.
Rear rank steady! Squad rank steady!
You know, it kind of tugs at your heartstrings when you hear the band, when you see the kids, when you see how focused they are at what they're doing. It really is, it warms your heart. And to be honest, as a parent, you feel a certain amount of pride.
Although Cadets has temporarily come to a close, the passion to fly one day in honor of his country lives on for Kyle, a passion he loves to share with a proud father. Josh Park, Primetime Local News.
The 20th annual Relay for Life took place this past weekend at Bud Miller Park.
As our survivors,
the event saw 63 participants, 37 survivors, as well as 40 volunteers take part. People took part in the relay to raise money for cancer research and to support people they know with cancer.
Cancer has affected a lot of us, me included, for sure, because I've had a lot of people in my life that have had cancer, including my mom. And so Relay for Life is really important to me.
Up to and at the event, they sold 75 luminaires. The event raised $17,000, which was shy of their goal of $22,000. Although they may not have achieved their desired money mark, the event was a success.
I feel like it went really well. I feel like there was more activity going on. There was more people doing stuff, more interaction amongst everybody. So I feel like what we added to Relay, I feel like it helped, and I hope we can continue to improve that.
Although the relay itself has passed, you can still donate online by going to relayforlifelloydminster.ca. Bud Miller Park has been in operation for over 30 years. In this week's retrospect, I take a look at how the park has changed in the last 10.
Bud Miller is Lloydminster's biggest public green space. It serves as a place for people of all ages to come out and enjoy the outdoors.
We've got no shortage of charity walks that are going on every weekend. We've got the pool in operation all the time, so if you're looking to take a cool dip and be able to take the family somewhere fun.
He says Bud Miller is a destination that can cater to all of Lloyd residents' needs.
So if you're a nature enthusiast, there's about 120 acres of relatively natural woodland, and then there's the other portion of it. If you're more sporting and what you like to do, then definitely there are activities in and around the park that will serve your interest too.
Flash forward to today, and Bud Miller Park has added new facilities to maintain its popularity, including the addition of the spray park, which the city has received positive feedback from.
I think most of the changes have been received well, especially by the user groups that do use them. I mean, there's always a push for more facilities throughout the city.
Over the past 10 years, Nielsen says that the population of the park has grown and continues to grow.
Bud Miller Park, just with the increase in population over the last 10 years, Bud Miller Park is a very busy place to go in Lloydminster in general. So traffic seems to increase here every year.
Bud Miller Park continues to ensure that the facilities are running so that anyone who comes has a good time. And that's it for this week's Retrospect.
Retrospect is brought to you by Webb's Machinery. Webb's Machinery, your New Holland dealer in Vermilion, Bakerville, and Lamont.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Well, we are back here once again at Tim Hortons, and today we are talking about Camp Day, and Darla McAleer, who's the manager here, joins me. So first off, can we just talk a little bit about what Camp Day actually is?
It's to help send local children that wouldn't necessarily have the advantages to go to camp. So this is their opportunity to go to camp. They get to learn horseback riding, canoeing, rope climbing, all kinds of experiences they wouldn't necessarily have on a normal day.
And now that Camp Day is coming up this Wednesday, June 5th. So how can people come out and help support Camp Day?
We have bracelets for sale for $2. They come in 4 different colors, so you can collect all 4. We also have the Roundup program, which means you can, when you make your purchase, whether it's $1.75 or $13, whatever, you can round that up to the next dollar. This year we are also having a carnival, a penny carnival. We have all kinds of games for people to come out, have fun. It's just a donation fee to enter, and they get to play all the games.
All right, perfect. And we'll talk a little bit more about the Penny Carnival in the next section. But first, can you just maybe a little bit about when can people actually come by and donate? Is it good for all day for Camp Day?
Camp Day donations start as of now, like we're accepting things now. On Camp Day, all coffee sales, 100% of our coffee sales go for Camp Day.
All right, awesome, perfect. Thank you so much. We're going to have a little bit more coming back from here at Tim Hortons, talking a bit about that Penny Carnival they do have coming up tomorrow. But first, we'll go back into the studio.
Camp Day sounds fun. I haven't been to camp since I don't know if I ever went to camp. I have to go back in the memory banks for that one. I honestly don't know. 22 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud over the next couple of hours before we hit the darkness. Things, though, will start to warm up relatively quickly tomorrow afternoon. Now, I made an error in the last cast. These are the dates for our records from this previous day, 1988 and plus 31. Seems like a normal Sunday afternoon, or June Sunday, Monday afternoon. And then -2, 3 years before that. That does not seem like a normal June day to me, -2 degrees. However, you might say that feels wrong. We could have snow later this week, so it's not the first time it's been cold in June in this region. Relatively clear skies on the Sask side. The Lakeland region does have that special air quality statement in effect still because of those wildfires, so if you do have trouble breathing, make sure you're careful when you go outdoors. Things clearing up throughout the rest of the province at the very top of your map as you go further into the northwest. It's a little bit less clear in those regions, and again, chance of thunderstorms or at least showers coming in over the next 24 hours and later on in the week, an outside chance as well. 17 degrees actually bumped up a little bit in Edmonton, 14 in Vegreville, 18 in St. Paul, 12 in Lac La Biche, 19 in Wainwright. So things starting to cool down throughout most of this region. 24 in Meadow Lake, St. Walburg now down to 21 degrees, Macklin still holding strong at 28, and Maidstone dropping a degree at 21. Now in Lloydminster, there's your 3-day forecast. So 20 degrees, the high for tomorrow, but a 61% chance of some showers coming in thanks to a low pressure system making its way from the southwest. 8 degrees is the overnight low, then 22 on Wednesday with a low of 6, and 22 with a low of 10 on Thursday. But as you can see by those increasing clouds by Thursday, things will start to get a little cooler and possibly very much cooler over the next couple of days after that into the weekend.
Welcome back. Well, the governments of Canada and Ontario are recognizing Craft Cider Month with funding for cideries. Through the Canadian Agricultural Partnership, the announcements include over $130,000 for Sunnybrook Farm Estate Winery to purchase and install an advanced glycol chilling and piping system to help reduce energy usage. Sunnybrook will also add a new wetland biofilter wastewater treatment system to help reduce disposal costs and eliminate wastewater. Fielding Estates Winery will receive more than $70,000 to purchase a new robotic press to establish 3 new product lines, which will help to increase capacity when processing apples for cider. And that's all for Ag Sports is next, but first, here's a look at your egg prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
Week 1 of the CPCA season wrapped up yesterday afternoon in North Battleford, living up to the promise of a competitive field. It was a show of firsts, including surprise winner Brad McMahon. The 4th-year driver won day money for the first time in his career, then repeated the feat on Sunday en route to winning the show total.
Feels real good, yeah. The horses are feeling good, and I guess that's the big confidence booster going into the beginning of the season.
The weekend also drew plenty of attention for Amber LaRue, competing as the first female driver of this association's history.
I was just waiting for the horn and waiting and waiting and waiting. It seems like a lifetime when you're sitting in there pulling into the barrels. It was pretty surreal. We came in front of the grandstand and it was super loud, which I could actually hear, which was crazy.
Next stop for the CPCA Tour is in Maskwacis this weekend. And the Lloydminster Extreme built on their big win over the Lakeland Heat with another victory Sunday afternoon against the Westlock Rock. Duncan Nora had 4 goals to pace the Extreme in an 8-5 contest. This has the club second in the Tier 2 North standings, ahead of their home tilt against Vermilion on Wednesday. And now we're going to Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Once again, we are back here today at Tim Hortons, and we've been talking about Camp Day. That is coming up here on Wednesday, June 5th. But they are also having a Penny Carnival here tomorrow, and Darla Macular joins me once again. So can you talk a little bit more about what exactly the Penny Carnival has in store?
Like I said, we have all kinds of games. It's just an entrance fee. People pay to come in and have fun. We have all kinds of games like water balloon fight. We're going to have a Timbit decorating table, so the kids will get to decorate their own Timbits. We have several games that the Lloyd Block Party Association was nice enough to donate for us today. There's just lots of, just to have fun.
So it sounds like a good time, especially because the weather is looking fairly decent for tomorrow. So what can people, when can people come out here and join, and where can they actually find the Penny Carnival?
It'll be from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tomorrow, June 4th. And it will be in our side parking lot, so we'll have that blocked off so the kids can be safe and have fun.
All right, and that is down here at the South Tim Hortons, correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, and now also that you did mention off camera, this is the first year you guys are doing it. Yeah. So where did you guys kind of come up with the idea for it, and what are you hoping to expect for tomorrow?
We're always looking for ideas to help raise funds to send kids to camp, because I believe every kid should have the experience. And we wanted something fun that the kids themselves could have fun at. And so this kind of idea just kind of evolved, and we're hoping it goes well this year and it can become an annual event.
All right, and you mentioned that Timbit decorating. That does sound pretty fun. So what does that kind of entail? How can people come out and decorate those Timbits?
We'll have 3 different kinds of Timbits for them to choose from, and we'll have all kinds of sprinkles and things that they can put on them.
All right, perfect. Thank you once again for joining us. We are going to have a little bit more coming back from here at Tim Hortons talking about Camp Day. But first, we are going to send it back into the studio.
Still missing that tea I didn't buy from Tim Hortons today. Satellite and radar, as you can see, somewhat cloudy skies. The low pressure system, though, making its way mostly north of the Lakeland region, so we're missing out on some precipitation there. Could be some more precipitation making its way down here at the bottom of your map. You can start to see it come in right there. That could play in effect over the next couple of hours. Now, watches and warnings, clear skies on one side of the map in Saskatchewan. Still an advisory in the Lakeland region, again, for air quality, but clearing up throughout the rest of the province. You can see temperatures now starting to dip everywhere else. 16 in Edson and in Jasper, 14 in Whitecourt. Out on the east side here, 22 in Prince Albert and 25 in Melfort. Saskatoon, rather, still sitting at a pretty warm 34 degrees. That will start to cool down by about 8 or 9 p.m. this evening. Right now, it's also still pretty warm in North Battleford, 27 degrees, though the wind has picked up to 22 kilometers per hour. Will calm down over the next couple of hours overnight when it's a low of 9 with 13-kilometer winds, then 20-kilometer winds tomorrow with a high of 22. Heading into Cold Lake, where it's 16 degrees, a low of 7 expected, and a high of 20 with some showers expected tomorrow. There will be sunlight still, but some sporadic showers in the afternoon is what you'll likely get there. I'm sure farmers in the area will appreciate that. Now, Lloydminster sitting at 22 degrees. Some strong gusts over the past 20 minutes, though that 55-kilometer speed is deceiving. Don't expect to see that continually. 17 kilometers is the average speed overnight with a low of 8, then 20 tomorrow afternoon with wind speeds around 20 kilometers, and again, a chance of showers there. As we look at it, is sitting at about 60%. 22 should be the high on Wednesday, with a high as well of 22 on Thursday. Those are a mix of sun and cloud days as well, particularly Thursday. And as those clouds pick up, we're expecting a low of or a high rather of 15 on Friday. Things really cooling down, partly because of a low pressure system building in Montana that could bring snow, something we'll keep an eye on over the next couple of days. A 25% chance of precipitation at the moment over the weekend. 12 on Saturday and on Sunday with lows of 4 degrees, and that low will stay on Monday, but in the daytime things do warm up to 20 degrees on Monday. Wind shifting from the northeast to the east to the south, finishing in the northwest with 32-kilometer gusts on Monday afternoon. And that's it for your 7-day forecast. We'll have more after the break.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here at Tim Hortons, and today we've been talking a little bit about Camp Day and the Penny Carnival that is coming up here in the next couple days. And Darla McAleer joins me once again, and now Camp Day, as we've talked about, is all about sending kids to camp. So what's it like when you are able to see kids go to camp, and what is the reaction like from them?
They always have so much fun. They talk about all the fun they have, hiking, rock climbing, canoeing, horseback riding. They get to go on overnight campouts. They learn leadership skills. They get to meet kids from across the province, so they meet new friends, learn new things. They learn leadership skills, things that they wouldn't necessarily learn on their day-to-day lives. They learn how to take pride in themselves and the work they're doing. They learn confidence.
No, that's awesome. And now also, how important are these days, these 2 days? You guys obviously have the Penny Carnival tomorrow and then actually Camp Day on Wednesday, and you guys are already accepting donations. So how important is this little stretch here to making sure those kids are able to go to camp and get that experience?
It's incredibly important because the kids, we send kids once a year but the camps actually run year round, so that the communities that are closer to them have access to the camp all year. So the kids get to participate in after-school programs, they get to participate in holiday programs, and it's a year-round thing.
And now you guys mentioned you guys are already accepting donations, but are you able to still accept donations even after Camp Day has passed here on this Wednesday?
Absolutely, we can accept donations year-round. They can actually go online and donate at, I believe it's timhortonscamp.com, and yeah, it's year-round.
And now lastly, once again, just how can people either come out tomorrow to the Penny Carnival and support, or actually support on Camp Day?
They can do both. At the carnival, you can donate just by donating to enter and have fun. We have prizes available for all the kids, so all the points that they win when they're playing the games, they get to also take something home. You can come inside, donate, buy a cup of coffee, round up your order, come in on Camp Day. Any coffee that's bought on Camp Day, 100% of the proceeds do go to Camp Day.
All right, perfect. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to have a little bit more coming back from here, but first we are going to go back into the studio.
So some of you folks did respond on social media in regards to our question of the day. If you had a hype man like Drake is for the Raptors, who would your hype man or hype woman be? And we had some interesting responses. One of the sort of unorthodox ones we kind of alluded to was Queen Elizabeth II. Not saying she's not precious, just doesn't strike me as much of a hype person. Our own Eric M. Hutt, who's been on vacation, says Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson can hype anything up. And I think that's probably the correct answer. Even though I have other answers, that's probably the actual correct answer. Because when you think of wrestlers who are obviously hyping things up is what they do for a living, more so even than the physical stuff. He's the best of the best.
And the fact that he is also an actor as well, that also helps with the whole hyping up, because he's been in multiple different roles, although they're kind of the same. But
oh, not all of them. If you watch Gridiron Gang, he's excellent in Gridiron Gang. But I see your point that he's kind of experienced a lot of different avenues in the world of entertainment, so that adds a level. If let's say you wanted a less angry hyping up, if that makes sense. So we'll jump right into something we're always hyped up to talk about, and that is Pet of the Day. And we have some very hype-worthy pets here, especially when we're talking, maybe the Queen would be a good hype person for this particular segment. Jen Gravel gave us Tweeter, who looks like she's trying to escape the heat.
And I love the name.
Yeah, Tweeter. I wonder if this was inspired by social media. Lucy, also escaping the heat. Thank you,
looks
Pamela.
Very comfortable.
Scott Chambers. I'm sorry, there's an A missing there with Pamela. Next up, we have jersey submitted by Bonnie
Oh,
Black, who's
just having
clearly
fun.
a fan of football.
Yes, fun in the
And
sun.
fourth placer, well, not necessarily fourth place, but fourth up, Rianne Jackson's ace, who really wanted to help out with
Yeah.
work today.
Love it.
but
Very adorable. Probably get
Sis-
the coat. Her fur coat probably
Yeah.
will get dirty.
Absolutely. There's zero chance of staying clean in that environment. And thank you, Alicia Sinclair, for Blondie and Saffron's picture,
Very
which is
adorable.
taken in a pet pad cage.
Yes.
Anytime you submit a picture of your pet for this contest, you have a shot, a free gift card from PetPad.
We want to see your pet. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Today I'm joined here with Susan Cambridge. She is the founder of the first annual Lloyd Fest that is going on August 24th to the 25th. Thank you for coming in and explaining the event. We were talking a little bit about off camera that this is a way for different cultures from all around the world to get together and really showcase what makes them unique. So where did the idea spring from to put on a festival like this?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you so much, Abby, for having me here. Thank you so much to Stingray for bringing me here, and I'm happy to explain, yes. So I am from a multicultural background. I am from Trinidad and Tobago, and so we are very used to the melting pot of having different people together, celebrating and having a good time. I've been in Lloydminster for the last 7 years, and I have learned to appreciate the rich, diverse culture that we have here. I've also had the opportunity of going to different festivals that different diverse cultures celebrate right here in Lloydminster. And then I said, voila, it's a wonderful idea to have one event so that we can bring all the diverse cultures together and celebrate together in one space and in one place.
And what can people truly expect when attending this event?
What you can expect is having a good time. That's the first thing. Bring your friends out and your families, all right? And we are, of course, celebrating the rich, diverse heritage of Lloydminster. And, of course, we're a border city, too. So I do have to mention to you that we did involve both sides of the borders, towns and cities. So you can come and expect to experience the food from traditional food from different countries, also music, performances, participate in the street parade if you have your different groups, craft, the beer garden. We can't afford that. We've got to quench our thirst, right?
Yes, of course.
As well as a kids area where you can have bouncy castles and just simply enjoy yourself. And I have also added on our promotions that you can come to the event, or we'd love to have you come to the event dressed in your traditional wear. So if you like the cowboy hat and the plaid shirts and the boots and the shorts, we want to have you in that too. So it's really about involving the whole community, even though you may not have a direct link to some diverse heritage.
And what are some of the countries that people can expect to see culture-wise?
Well, we have opened the invitation to everyone. So you have indigenous groups, you have Jamaica here, you have Trinidad, you have Ukraine, you have Mexico, you have Germans, you have so many. So I don't want to call too much of the names and anyone is left out. But certainly, and you have the Indian community, and you have just about everybody who's involved here. And so they're all invited. So as the time is going on, the list is just getting longer and longer. So we can expect anyone and everyone.
Well, that sounds really awesome and very diverse,
Yes,
which is what a lot of people really love to see.
Yes.
How can people attend the event? Is there a way to buy tickets or to register? How does attendance work?
We have great news. It's all free.
Oh, perfect.
That's the word. That's the
perfect.
operative word there. It's all free, and it's going to be held at the Lakeland College grounds. And you know, you have different entrances that you could come through. We've also partnered with the city and Bud Miller Park, so we will be occupying some space there for the beginning. And yeah, it's free. You coming down, even for the vendors. If you would like to sell one of your international food, by all means, we are not charging for vending or anything like that. But if you have a good heart and you've made a good sale, then you can donate to the nonprofit organization. So that's fine. And if you would like to get involved, you can call me at 780-522-8019, or please visit our website, lloydfest.org, or our festival page, International Festivals Lloydminster Society. That's our Facebook link.
Okay, well, perfect. Thank you so much for coming in and explaining this really awesome festival that will be going on this summer. And of course, if you'd like to attend, it is free to go and enjoy the many different cultures that Lloydminster has to offer, and just learn a little bit about other places around the world that you may not. So that is again going on August 24th and 25th at the Lloydminster Lakeland College campus and around Bud Miller Park. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me, and I would love to thank all our sponsors for participating and supporting us. It has been absolutely wonderful, and we totally appreciate it, and it was nice chatting with you.
Yes, thank you. Hey, it's Sarah from Real Country 97.7, and here's your look at what's going on in St. Paul this week. The town of St. Paul FCSS is celebrating Seniors Week on June 7th with the Pie and Ice Cream Social. Seniors ages 55 and up are welcome to head on down to the Rec Center from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. for an afternoon of visiting and pie. Doors open at 12 on the 7th, and you are asked to reserve your spot ahead of time by calling Brenda at 780-645-5311. For more information on this event, you can head to facebook.com/realcountry977. And the Color Me Art Run is this Saturday, June 8th. Run or walk through 5 different color stations and become a work of art by the end. This event is for people of all ages. Tickets are $40 each. General admission registration packages include 1 color packet, water, a t-shirt, and sunglasses. If you don't have time to register ahead of time, don't you worry, you can also register the day of the event. For more information on this event, you can head to realcountrystpaul.ca/events. I'm Sarah, and that was your look at what's going on in St. Paul this week.
Furniture supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Welcome back as we continue to mourn the Toronto Raptors' loss last night. Just kidding, we're not actually in mourning.
It's just one game.
It's just one game. I may have been momentarily crushed last night, but it was still an enjoyable affair. It's still surreal to have the Toronto Raptors in the finals, to be honest. Let's start there with our talk coverage of pro sports. Some people are saying the series is over already, which seems strange to me, especially with the injuries that are involved. But what was your takeaway from the game, aside from the obvious, which is they blew it in the third quarter?
Yeah, there's 2 ways to take a look at this. You know what? That third quarter was the downfall for the Raptors last night. But at the same time, you know what? If they sunk the baskets they were attempting to shoot, if they went down, that's a different game. Their defense played very well because this is one of the best teams probably ever in the NBA, this organization, the Golden State Warriors. So when you hold them in a check, for the most part, they could have blown you away, and they really didn't. You still had a shot at the end. You have to take a look at that and say, you know what, our defense was good. We just got to sink some baskets when we need them. Golden State's a little banged up. If they get healthy, will the outcome be different? I don't think so, because the Raptors play good defense.
And as you said to that point about defense, the last 3 minutes of the game, I believe, aside from that Andre Iguodala 3 that sunk the result, it was basically a scoreless affair for the Warriors down the stretch. So again, if the Raptors hit one of those open shots, they're right back win. Not to mention that attempted Kawhi steal that didn't happen before the Iguodala basket.
Yeah, he makes that steal. Who knows? Might be going to overtime. So.
And then the question becomes in next week's, or not next week's, but Wednesday's matchup. Do you worry about the Warriors' health, or do you think that they have the advantage just now that they're back at home?
They have the advantage going back home. That arena is electric, and the crowd's going to be amazing. It's going to be off the charts. As much as it's crazy in Toronto, you ain't seeing anything until you see Golden State's home crowd. I still think the Raptors go there and get a split.
I think so too. I think they've played very well on the road. Obviously, they had 4 straight wins against Milwaukee, which included a Game 5 road win. They've won on the road against Philadelphia, both road wins against Orlando. It's not an easy place to play in Oracle Arena, but this group has been pretty resilient, and they're clearly not afraid of the moment, at any rate. Stanley Cup Finals got Game 4 tonight between the Blues and the Bruins. And then after that, they break up the gaps a little bit. So what they're going to do is similar to what the NBA does, where they have the 2 or 3 days in between the rest of the way. So some players might actually like the rest, but you think it's more due to the networking than actually the players themselves?
And it really is, because right now you're trying to juggle Rogers here in Canada, you're trying to juggle NBC in the US, and you're trying to make it work into their schedule. So really it comes down to a network decisions and when this series is going to go. And yeah, it's getting kind of dragged out to a certain extent. We're sitting here in June and we're talking about hockey.
Yeah.
I don't exactly agree with it. I don't think anybody saw what happened Saturday coming. I don't think we thought the Bruins would blow them away. I thought it was going to be another close game. So it'll be interesting to see how the Blues respond tonight.
You know, John Hamm and several other celebrity fans will be cheering for their St. Louis Blues, as well as anyone who doesn't like Brad Marchand, basically.
Which is a lot of people.
A very good number of people. Really quickly, just to touch on the Jays' misery, do you think they have to start moving some personnel based on what their record is at this point? I think they're on pace for less than 60 wins.
Well, for the Jays fans, be careful what you wish for. You wish for all these young kids to get pulled up into the lineup and get called up. You're getting those young kids in the lineup, and you're getting mistakes by those young kids. At the plate, they're not doing bad. Out in the field, they're horrendous. I think they're going to start moving at least a couple of pieces in their starting rotation. Maybe a couple of veteran pieces out in the outfield might get moved as well.
And then 10 seconds or less, what's going on the sports show tomorrow?
Yeah, Tuesday night sports show tomorrow night. Jason Greger from TSN Radio in Edmonton will join us. Also be joined by John Shannon from Rogers. And we'll talk about Brew Man, who had an accident not that long ago, and a fundraiser locally for him.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that, folks, and you don't want to miss the rest of the cast here on Primetime Local News.
Once again, we are back here today at Tim Hortons, and the reason for that is we are talking about Camp Day. Now, Camp Day will be Wednesday, June 5th, and on Camp Day, any coffee you buy, all the money from that will be donated to send some kids to camp. Now, also, you can also donate from beforehand, too. They are accepting you if you do want to round up your orders, either if it's $13, maybe if it's just $1.75, round it up to the nearest, that $2, $14, and send that extra change to, again, help out some people go to camp. A new thing they are trying this year at the South Tim Hortons location is they will also be doing a penny carnival, which sounds like it'll be a lot of fun. Now that is from 3 till 6 tomorrow, that is Tuesday, and again they will be doing some of that Timbit decorating, which sounds like a fun thing to get the kids involved in. Again, just a little donation will let you participate in that. So that's all from here. We're going to go back into the studio where Josh and Abby will wrap up tonight's news.
And there's another look at your 7-day forecast. Chance of rain tomorrow, then things warm up for the next couple of days before cooling down drastically over the weekend, where we have a very outside chance of snow thanks to a low pressure system that will start to develop by Thursday in Montana. 20 degrees on Monday to wrap up your 7-day, and 22 degrees on Wednesday. That is not beautiful enough outside to keep me away from the Raptors Game 3. As we get, once again, we want to wrap the conversation up about the hype man. Did you have any other nominees you wanted to throw out? Or you're still just fervently sticking to Will Smith? Maybe a backup hype man.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Kanye West, because I would love to hear him say outlandish stuff.
Now, that is a polarizing choice, but if he was on your side,
yeah,
it'd be pretty efficient.
Yeah,
am I right?
I would. Yeah, that would
efficient.
be pretty sick, because people would just be like, they'd just go to listen to him, no matter if they believed it or not.
He might get a little long-winded, though,
yeah,
so
that's
he might turn
fine.
people off just a little bit, which is a problem with many a Kanye concert. Thank you once again, Abby.
Yes.
Hope you guys enjoyed our coverage today on Primetime Local News, and we'll see you tomorrow evening.